The first night I ever spent in this house, we'd found the house in January about this time, and it took us about 4 months to close for a various array of reasons. It was a foreclosure and it had been really vandalized, and it was one of those things that like shouldn't have worked out, but it did. And the house needed a ton of work. Salad, anyone? So I tried doing something different. I usually just pick the leaves out individually, and I just kind of cut this here to give it a haircut, and I really don't like it nearly as much because it's growing back, but it makes the bag not look as pretty and even, so I don't think I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to keep picking the leaves out individually. Coming along. Basically, because of all of the vandalizing, the house itself wasn't livable, and it was like this crazy thing that it even passed inspection, but we basically had to do a tremendous amount of work in escrow, and we had like 2 weeks to get signed off on the loan or something. I don't remember exactly how it all played out, but it was like a really unusual situation. And basically what we did was we closed on the house, and we spent about the next 14 days working on it nonstop. And Jeremiah was staying out here, and I was taking the kids home 40 minutes to our house in town every night, and we were staying there, and then we would come out in the morning and we would work all through the day. And Jeremiah would work all through the day and through the night. And we basically had to get the place livable. And because of the way that the home loan worked, we had to do some silly things like replace some fixtures, and there was some paint and some doors that needed to be repaired. And of course we're doing that, and also trying to make sure like the mechanical stuff works and that the house isn't going to burn down and all that stuff. So it was towards the end of that period that I actually slept out here for the first time, because Jeremiah was doing all of the main work, and so he was the one who was staying out and working late. And then when it came down to painting, I'm the painter in our family. Like when we have to paint rooms or anything like that, it's always me. I love painting and I like cutting in. I have a really steady hand for it. And so I stayed out late that night to paint. And I slept on the couch in the living room. It was the only furniture that we had here was some couches. And I woke up really early the next morning. We didn't have curtains, so the light came blaring in. This was about April, spring. And I remember walking outside and hearing the geese in the pond across the street. Now that we've been here for 6 years and we've done a lot more than just make it livable, there's still something that just strikes a little chord in me when I wake up in the morning and I step out front and I can hear that there's a flock of geese landed on the pond across the street. Because I remember so vividly that first wet spring morning. And of course there were no fences, there was no garden, there was nothing. I mean, most of this was woods, and the house itself was a mess. I'd never owned a chicken. I had never milked a goat. I'd never successfully grown much, you know. I mean, I'd grown in pots and like on small endeavors, but I'd never had like a big garden. And I just had this burning dream for a farm. And I just remember stepping out front and hearing those geese across the street, and for some reason, it was just like the moment that I knew that I was almost there, that it was really happening, and we were living out in the country, and that the dream that I'd had for so long was actually like in the realm of reality. I can't get over how green this January is. It's just not been very cold at all. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, good morning. How are you? Hey, Gabriel, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Are you a good boy? Are you Gabe good boy? Maya was actually out of town for the last week, and we didn't talk about that beforehand, just because considering the reach of our channel, I don't really think it's necessarily wise to broadcast whenever I'm gonna be home alone for a week. Oh, I just sunk in the mud. But his grandmother actually passed away in Indiana, and he had to go up to her funeral. And so that is why I've been here by myself with the kids all week, and all the videos have been me and the kids by ourselves. He's home now, and he actually went this morning to pick the kids up from my dad's house. So I'm actually walking out here to get a look at these pigs. Hey pigs. Hey pigs. Hey pigs. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, pigs. Hey. Hey, big pigs. Hi. This big, well, it's not really actually big, relatively bigger than a lot of the other barns on our property. This big barn's coming along. Pretty excited about this. And just all this space. It's crazy because the majority of what we've had on our farm for the whole time we've been here has been on like just a little more than 2 acres. And so clearing these woods out and fencing it and really utilizing it to the fullest is doubling the space that we had, because this is like 2.5 acres. And then also getting the field next door is like tripling the space that we had. And it just really is exciting. What do you think, Gabriel? Do you think it's crazy? Definitely, huh? Definitely. You're a good boy. The goatees see me. Here they come. Gotta make sure they're not missing out on getting anything. Hey, girls! What's up, Clo-Clo? Y'all closed the herd dame. So she is like the boss. And she's always limping from having to assert her dominance. Oh, they saw I didn't have food. Old news. Now they're moving on. Here comes Winona, the new girl. She's looking good. Working her way in. She's putting on some weight. They still won't let her hang out with them. Bunch of mean girls. Do y'all wear pink on Wednesdays? Huh? You being jerks? You be nice. I knew this video wasn't gonna have just a whole lot of a point. I just heard those geese, and I wanted to come out and share that little thing. It's weird, like, I so wish sometimes that I could just boop you guys on the head and let you feel the things that go through my heart sometimes. But all I can do is do my best to show you what I see and tell you what I think. But thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning. I bless you. Until next time.